We believe that God has truths that are universal. But at the same time, we believe that he wants to speak to us in ways that are very specific and contextual. And so when it comes to something as important as our weekend message series, we don't want to just copycat what other churches are saying or doing. Instead, we do something that's much, much harder. We take time to ask God what it is that he wants to say to this community. Before a message series ever comes to light, it is undergoing a process of formation for sometimes as long as a year. See, every year, our ministry staff, the people who lead our children and students, our life groups, our worship services, missions, we all go off for a day-long retreat. And it's one of the most spiritually significant days of our whole year. Over the course of that day, we'll walk through a spiritual process where we talk about how people are hurting, what they're struggling with, what's going on in our world, what might be going on in our world, and what God wants to say in all of that. By the end of the day, we come out of that meeting with a calendar of what we believe God wants us to say over the next year. But that's just the beginning. Starting about 8 weeks before we begin a new series, we meet with a smaller team to flesh out the concept for each series. We talk about the biblical and theological and life principles that we're going to teach. After that meeting, we create a big idea for the series. It's like our blueprints for everything that follows. Then about a week after that meeting, we have a creative meeting. We assemble creative minds from every department. We share the big idea with them, and we ask their help in finding ways to convey those truths in the most relevant, engaging way possible. It then goes to our creative departments for design work. All of our graphics are made in-house by one of our graphic artists. They design the look for each series. From there, our tech crews create a title package for that series. They also build our light displays and set pieces that visually convey the themes. Others plan service flow, music, and special elements that recur throughout the series. We build all of this with our specific audience in mind. So what few people realize is that when a new message series comes to light, or when a pastor gets on the platform to speak on a weekend, we've already been planning and preparing and praying and creating for months. And most important, we've been giving God room to speak into our process. See, often people will come up to me after a message or after a series and say, this is so timely, this is so relevant to my life. Are you guys looking into our windows at home? I assure you we're not, but we know that God is. And we have a process that allows God to speak into everything that we do.